North Base Construction, great service from the ground up. Roofing, storm damage and siding. Call the pros at North Base. Our hands-on approach, advice and consulting. Our attention to detail makes the difference. Visit online at northbaseconstruction.com. North Base Construction, great service from the ground up.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the North Face Construction Relegation Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Jack Yeager, alongside Andrew Peterson and Luke Yeager.
Hello, brothers. Ooh, that one was off.
Dang it.
That one was off.
Also, Jack, before we start, I'd like to call to attention that, are you wearing a Michigan State hoodie the day after Michigan won the national championship?
I am.
Wow.
Represent.
It's a bold strategy, all right?
I ride with my Spartans.
Down with the Wolverines.
That's right. Quick reminder for all of our listeners, for all of you who were anxiously awaiting our show to drop on Tuesday, as it normally does, but found yourself horribly disappointed and unsatisfied when no show was released. Now that it is the offseason, we're down to only one show a week that will be released every Thursday.
Ah!
There it is.
Zooks.
I was waiting for that reaction.
I was going to do it in the middle, but I didn't want to interrupt you. So I know you get very irritated about that.
No, I don't. No, I don't. On today's show, we have off-season speculation. Over the next couple episodes, we will be going through each team in the league and breaking down how well they are set up for the 2024 season and beyond. And then we'll get into the mock draft season. Throughout the offseason, we're going to pull mock drafts for both the actual NFL draft and for Dynasty Fantasy drafts to see what people expect from the upcoming rookie class. And then last but not least, we're doing a draft battle with everyone in the sports world talking about whether the Bears should draft a quarterback or not. Today, we're going to take turns drafting our own QB rooms filled with who we believe to be the best QBs currently in the NFL.
All right, guys. What are the odds we get through like one of these segments in under an hour?
Oh, no, so the off-season speculation, I've got a timer going. As soon as we start it, I'm rolling it. It's however many teams we get through in like 25, 30-ish minutes. Then we're moving on to the next section.
All right.
Is that maybe even too much? Should we give 20 minutes to that? Like try to go 20 minutes to each segment?
That's what I think.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
All right. Yeah. So we'll roll it 20 minutes. Whoever
we
we
can
get
be
through,
a hair
then we'll move on.
loquacious at times. Yeah.
Loquacious. I dated a girl in high school named Loquacious.
For those who don't know, that's who Kip dated in Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Loquacious. We've been getting pretty serious lately.
I love technology.
But not
For
as much
off-season
as you
speculation, but I still love technology, always and forever. All right, for off-season speculation, we will start with breaking down how well Unicorn Fart is set up for the future and continue down the standings from there. We'll see how many teams we can get through in 20 minutes and then pick up next week wherever we left off for this week.
That's right.
All right, so I am opening the Google Docs right now.
Yeah, we talked a little bit. I mean, when Connor was on last episode, we talked a little bit about kind of what his thoughts were, where he thought he was set up well. I think the major part for him is, I'm going to adjust some of this so it's all cut so we can just see what he has left. He traded away 17 of his keeper dollars. So he's going to start off with only $163 in keepers. I don't think the overall keeper budget is going to affect too many people, except he has a lot of studs that are worth a lot of money. So I don't think he'll be able to keep his core together next year like some others might be able to do.
I mean, looking at his core right now, I think you're talking about Lamar, A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, Pollard, Ford, and Jamar Chase. Those are like the big names that he has on his team.
Right. Yep, for sure.
And I think right now, there's a reason Connor was champion. He had a really good team. And I think it's set up well for success next year. I think he'll keep Jackson for 30, Brown for 43, and then probably Jamar Chase for 60. That one's tough,
Andrew.
but I think a lot of that depends on if T. Higgins leaves or not.
So if he, after keeping just those 3 guys, which is a great start, he would have $30 left in keeper, and he would have $95 left total going into the veteran draft.
I think that's plenty.
Do you think to fill? So he'll have to fill 5 starting roster spots, and he'll have. So then, what would that leave him with? 12 bench spots that he'd have left to fill. So 17.
I think last time we talked to him, he's also planning on keeping Jerome Ford because I think he got him for.
Oh, yep, my bad.
$1.
He got him for $2.
So $6 next year. So you're looking at $84, and now you have 4 starting spots to fill. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 12 bench spots. But those are going to be.
Those are going to be just
$1 guys at
I
worst.
think. With that amount of money, he can get 1 stud running back, another good RB2 probably, or maybe not. Like, you probably won't be able to empty the clip for like a $65 running back, but get a $50 running back, another $30 one, and then just fill out your team with the rest. Yeah, obviously that math is not perfect, but
yeah, and it'll kind of depend on whenever we have our league meeting coming up here, what people decide on whether we have to fill the entire roster. Because if he doesn't have to fill the entire roster, he could do your exact strategy, get a few $1 guys, and then just pick everybody else up off of waivers. He only has 1 draft pick this year, so he won't be able to fill his lineup with any freebies from the draft. He's going to have literally the only pick he has is the last pick. Mr. Irrelevant is his only pick, the last pick of the second round. So I don't think he can expect to really get much there. But I don't know. He is set up really, really well because his studs are going to be, they're all top 5 guys for sure, right? Well, minus Jerome Ford. That's the only guy he's keeping.
But Ford's a great upside back to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially not knowing what Nick Chubb, his recovery is going to look like. I don't want to bet against Nick Chubb, but still, I think it's a very good keeper.
Do you think they keep Nick Chubb for sure?
I don't. Had there been rumors that he might get traded?
I was thinking he might get cut. He is $12.2 million. He's due $12.2 million in 2024, but if he gets cut, it's only $4 million in dead cap.
I would guess no. I'd be shocked if they did that.
Would you? Would you keep him as the Browns? Wouldn't you rather just go in the draft and get a guy in the 3rd round or something?
You're talking to someone who actively hates NFL teams paying running backs, so I'm probably not the most objective person here.
That's true.
Given what he's meant to that team, how good of a player he is, and the status of their quarterback position, I think, maybe they try and get out of the Deshaun. They basically can't get out of the Deshaun Watson deal, right?
No, not at all. Because it's guaranteed money. If they were to cut him, he would be $290-something million in dead cap next year.
Jeez.
Something stupid like that.
They could spread it out over a couple of years, all right?
Yeah.
Watson got a crazy deal.
I know. It was the start of the end of the golden age.
I was just about to say that, Jaeger. All right. Yeah. The golden era of the quarterback ended right there. All right.
It's over. That is a take that I am going to stick to until probably for the next couple of years, because I really do think it's the end.
Well, I believe along that take, you also said Lamar Jackson's not really a franchise quarterback. So, I think you win some, you lose some.
When did I say that?
Maybe it was Jack, but I'm going to say it was you who said that.
Okay. I don't remember saying it.
I'm cool with that. I think I remember.
Okay.
It was definitely not
also
me.
coming from one of the Jaegers who thinks Baker Mayfield's a franchise quarterback. So again, nothing you guys say really matters about quarterbacks anymore.
It's sad to listen to you have such bad takes sometimes.
It physically hurts me to hear words come out of each of your mouths.
Oh,
You need to believe in Baker. He believes in you.
He's
yeah.
what?
He believes in
He
you.
believes in you.
I know for a fact Baker doesn't believe in me.
All right, we got to move on to the next team, or we're gonna get.
Let's do it.
We're gonna fall behind.
Yep, that's
All
no
right,
problem.
so moving on to second place,
Yeah, Lake City Longnecks.
Lake City Longnecks.
Okay, so Lake City Longnecks.
Couple really solid.
Yeah, go for
ahead.
it.
Oh, I was just gonna say a couple really solid keepers that they have going into the next season. They'll keep Rashad White, Puka Nakua. They'll keep. What did Pacheco go for?
Pacheco went for. Where's
He'll probably
he at?
keep Jalen
60,
Warren.
he'll keep Pacheco for 20.
Yep. So out of the two teams that we've looked at so far, Cole has a phenomenal running back base moving into the next season and not paying a lot of money, along with Puka Nakua, who will only be $5. I
And
think
Purdy
just
for
looking
6.
at those,
Yeah.
just looking at those guys, Purdy, Puka, Rashad, Jalen Warren probably, and Isaiah Pacheco, you're looking at a really solid start to a team without having to spend hardly any money.
So here's
Do you
where
guys
he
think he
sits
keeps Dalvin Cook for
financially.
14?
Yeah, for sure. Here's where he sits financially. So he made no trades. So he didn't give away any dollars, meaning he has his full 180 to spend on keepers. He took second, which gave him a $55 bonus. So he is, let's see, without any keepers, what is that? What's 180 plus 55? Do that math quick. AP.
235.
Thank you.
233, 235, 260.
Legacy
There's
Christian
one.
Academy, baby. Not strong in math and science.
So he has 235 total to spend, 180 to spend on keepers. If he keeps Brock Purdy, Puka Nakua, Justin Jefferson, Rashad White, Jalen Warren, and Isaiah Pacheco. Oh, and let's say he keeps Dalton Kincaid as well.
Yeah.
He still has $32 left to spend on keepers. And if he doesn't spend any of that, he still has $87 left to spend in the veteran draft. And he didn't give up any of his draft picks. So he has his first and second round draft picks to play with.
Jeez.
Wow.
What a
Good for Cole.
great spot to be in. Yeah, he's set.
You know
With
what?
that
We didn't grade what we thought Unicorn Fart was at. Should we grade each of these as we go for their upcoming season
Sure.
perspective?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to Unicorn Fart. What do you guys give him for a grade?
Jack, I'll let you
Floating
set
around
the
Precedent. Is that right?
Precedent.
I'm gonna say.
I'll let you set the president.
I think he's sitting at like a B. Like pretty. It's so tough to say because he does have studs and scrubs right now, where he's gonna keep a couple of guys who are gonna be impactful. But it's gonna be interesting to see how the rest of his team plays out after the drafts. So as of right now, I would say like a B, B+. Whereas I'd probably put Cole closer to an A-, maybe even an A.
I'd go B+ for Connor. Just the ability to keep those studs at a reasonable price, I think, puts him above average.
Mhm.
And I think a B is an average. And then I think Cole is a clear A to me. Like to be able, I think. With that said, I don't know if he'll keep Jefferson. Do you guys think he keeps Jefferson?
Yeah, almost positive.
I think so.
When we were talking in a trade earlier this year, he was talking about some of his keepers and different stuff, and he goes, "People might be shocked, but I'm like," he said he was almost 100% sure that he was going to keep Jefferson going into next year. So
I mean, I don't disagree with that. Like, it's especially if you have the money. Like,
exactly.
It's more. Do you think that Jefferson? I feel like he might be able to not keep Jefferson and get him for cheaper than 68, though.
No, I think Jefferson would go for like 75.
Seriously?
I think
with
because
inflation.
I guess you have freebie. I didn't factor in the freebie inflation index. So
yeah,
the freebie Viking inflation index. Look it up.
Exactly. I think the top end talent, and again, goes back to, are we going to allow people to not fill their roster at the draft? Because if they're not, the top studs who don't get kept, who get to slip into free agency, they're going to go for $10, $15 more than what they would go in a typical.
And that I think is an
draft.
argument against not being able to fill not having to fill your rosters.
To keep the salary cap in control a little
Yeah.
bit more.
I think we're already going to deal with inflation because there are going to be a lot of keepers.
Mhm.
Anything we can do to tame that, I think, would make sense.
Yeah, I think I agree. Right now, I would lean towards voting for having to fill your roster. But even so, I think he would go for at least, I think he would go for 70.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And
Yeah.
and it's probably just not worth letting it go. I mean, maybe he could get him for 66, but I doubt it. I feel like people knowing that his keeper value would have been 68, people will bid up to 68 at least. I don't
Just
know
to really
why.
like twist that knife for Cole. All right.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know.
The
Okay,
other
so
one that I feel like we're not talking about with Cole, do you guys think he keeps Herbert for 22?
No.
oh,
That's on the line.
that's right on the line.
Yeah, it is. It is on the line, but I don't think he
Especially
will.
if Herbert
It's-
gets a like, you know, if they've obviously they're going to hire a new coach because they need one, but like offensive mind comes in, they upgrade a little bit in the draft and free agency. Like, I don't know, Herbert could finish as the number one quarterback next year, and I don't think anyone would be surprised.
I would
number
be.
one,
I'd
a
be
little
surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably unexpected, but it's not like shocking.
I get what you're saying. It wouldn't be coming out of nowhere. It wouldn't
It's within
be
the
like,
realm of possibility. Like for sure, that's a
Yeah.
possible outcome, as opposed to someone like, I don't know, you know, Josh Dobbs finishing as the QB1. Like that is literally never going to happen.
right. Yeah. It would be like if Kirk Cousins had finished number one this year. To me, if Herbert finishes number one next year,
I think Herbert has a way better shot to finish as the QB1 than Cousins.
I
don't think so.
don't. In a 6-point passing league, when he doesn't have great weapons right now, they would have to really revamp that offense because
Yeah,
I don't like Mike Williams. I don't even know if he's back. I don't think he's under contract right now. Right
He
now,
is.
is he?
Pretty sure he signed a
thought-
big deal in like 20. Was it 20 or and they might be able to cut him with relatively minimal consequences, but I think he's under contract.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't love Mike Williams. So like their wide receiving core is an aging Keenan Allen. I love Keenan Allen, but at some point he's going to hit that age cliff.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mike Williams, who I think is highly overrated. Even when he's on the field, he's super like inconsistent. And
Quentin Johnston's a stud, though. How dare you?
and then huge. Huge is he's the biggest bust of last year's draft.
Birch tried to peddle him in trades with me. He's like, dude, you know he's gonna like go off soon. All right. I know he's had a bad season, but he's got potential, man. I'm like, yeah, that's not interested.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing for him is he has so much wiggle room with that keeper budget that he could still.
Well, I guess he's also
Herbert.
keeping Purdy, so he's probably not going to keep Herbert then.
Probably no need. I would say he'll probably let Herbert walk and pick up a few other people. I would give him definitely an A. He might be an A+ for the way he's set up for next year.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he really might.
I agree.
He might be the standard. And then I would say you guys were spot on with Unicorn Fart, B+. He is going to have 3 studs going into the year. He has a little money to fortify that lineup, but it's definitely going to be a studs and duds approach. Studs and scrubs? Is that which one? Is it both? Is both the term?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah,
I say studs and scrubs, but
Yeah.
duds and studs also works.
Okay. Perfect.
Duds and scrubs. That was your and mine approach this year, Luke.
It didn't work. I wouldn't recommend it. Do not go duds and scrubs.
But you did. You got what you wanted. The number one pick in the draft, all right?
That was not what I wanted at the draft. That changed about 5 weeks in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, solid A+ B. Should we do one more and then move on to our next segment?
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about the Texas Turf Hoppers.
I was going to say, let's talk about the number punchers, but I forgot their epic fail to end the season. Caused them to finish in 4th.
Well, that was
Number-
a wet one.
There's
Pew, pew, pew,
Yeah, it was.
pew,
pew, pew, pew, pew.
pew.
A
Yes.
couple of the guys that Texas Turf Hoppers could keep, probably Dak Prescott. I think he was like $8 or something like that, maybe 5.
He was drafted for 8. He'll be 12 next year.
Okay, I think that's a pretty safe keep.
Mm-hmm.
Kyron Williams will get kept for 14.
Yep.
I I don't know. I don't think he keeps Najee. He
I
might
would be
keep
really
Evan Ingram.
surprised if
No.
he keeps Najee.
He would have
Yeah,
to keep
same.
Najee
Evan-
for 38. That's pretty hefty.
That's expensive. Evan Ingram was $8, so he'll get him for 12.
He was
He'll probably
six,
keep him.
Evan Ingram was $6, so he would get him for 10.
Oh, for 10. And then Travis Etienne was what, 30s?
32, he would keep him for 36. Let's go back to Evan Ingram.
I think
$10 feels like borderline for me for Evan Ingram.
I probably wouldn't keep Ingram at that price.
He did almost set the record for tight end receptions this year.
Seriously? And he still wasn't a
Came
top
up
3
to-
tight end, right?
He came up too short. Pretty
Interesting.
wild.
because he had 15 receptions in week 16 and 12 in week 14. That's what like pushed him towards it.
Wow.
Outside of that, he was a very average, like 7 a week.
And Jack, what would you have done for those 7 points a week at the tight end spot?
Not a whole lot. I didn't lose out on that much with Evan Ingram, actually.
You missed out on a playoff berth.
Not because
No,
of Evan.
because
He
Madison-
would not have.
I'm kidding. I know.
Madison won me 1 week, so I can't even really complain about that.
Yeah. No, I think Ingram for
But-
10. I personally wouldn't do that. I think it is right on the line.
It's
though.
close. It is right on the line.
I'd probably let him walk and see if I get him for that, take him in the draft, and if he goes over that, put that money somewhere else. It's probably
I'd
what
regret.
Yeah.
I'd regret it more if I kept him for too high than if I lost him.
Yes, I agree with that. I think that's probably going to be a good way to look at things. Is which regret hurts more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think he keeps ETN for 36. That would surprise me if he
Same.
doesn't.
Correct.
what was
about
Debo?
Debo? He drafted for 26, so he'll keep. I would keep Debo for 30.
For
What did
30,
Debo
yeah.
finish this season?
I don't know.
43rd
actually.
overall.
He was also
That-
he
He
was
had
injured.
892 receiving yards, 7 touchdowns, 60 catches on 89 targets.
Yeah, maybe not.
Pretty solid. Well, he had week
How many
13, week
games did he
14,
play?
week 15, week 17, week 12. Those were all good weeks. Week 2 was good, and then he had a little injury spurt. But he had week
How
3
many
was
games
good.
did he play?
1, 2,
this
3,
is
4,
looking
5,
like
6, 7,
16.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
It feels like it would have been a lot
14?
easier to count the ones he didn't play.
Yeah, probably.
Actually, no. I'm seeing that he played in every game. I don't know what the amount of games he actually
No,
finished. But
he missed week 7, week 8, and week 9 was a bye week.
Okay.
So he missed
So-
3 out of the 17 with a bye. So 2.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't keep him for 30.
I probably wouldn't either. I guess that was a gut reaction, but that one's borderline. It kind of depends. What do you think he would go for in free agency? His rate might increase. He'll probably be one of the top 10 guys available in free agency.
He'll be like probably a mid-30s guy.
So you would get a deal if you kept him. It's just is he the guy you would want to ride with next year?
Ugh.
I know these prices are going to be ugly at the draft. I feel like it's going to hurt so bad taking some of these guys for the prices you're going to pay them.
Have you guys noticed that Debo Samuel's head kind of looks like he wore a hat for the first like 16 years of his life?
No, I've never.
He's got like this crease right here where it looks like, oh, he just took his hat off for this picture, but it's in every picture.
That's pretty funny.
Well,
Yeah.
the other one he might keep is Khalil Shakir for $1.
You'd keep him for 5?
Yeah. I mean, draft for $1, kept for $5. That's about the only other one.
Terry
And, like,
McLaurin
that's
for 20,
I
depending
don't think-
He kinda likes
depending on what
Austin-
quarterback or.
Yeah.
Austin likes Terry McLaurin though. He said that like a couple weeks ago where he likes him.
He does like McLaurin, I feel like. He has Mike Williams on his bench or on IR for 21. He also has Kirk Cousins for 9. I'm assuming he'll keep Cousins for 9.
Well, you think
So
he'll keep
Cousins
Dak
and
and
Dak
Cousins for 17 combined?
I think so.
Or 21
Yeah,
Yeah, I
combined?
think so.
Yeah.
That's a great quarterback package.
I don't know, man. I feel like
I think
that's probably the safe thing, or like I think generally Austin is a little more conservative with his strategy. So I think you're probably right that he'll keep both quarterbacks. I think he keeps Debo. Not sure about Shakir, but I think that's the core where it's Dak, Kyron, Debo, ETN, and then probably Kirk.
Okay, so if he keeps all those guys, he will be at $117 remaining in his keeper budget. He only gave up $1, so he gave away $4, received $3, so he will be at $179 for his keeper, and then his total after keeping all those guys, he'll still have like $162 about there
Holy cow.
left in the draft, and he has both of his draft picks.
Because I
so
originally, when you're reading out the keepers, I was thinking, this isn't that great. But now when you say how much he has left, it's like, good Lord.
I would say that's an A to A plus range grade for that team. Then I would say that's better than Cole's.
No, I think Cole's is a way better spot.
No, because you got to think we're talking about Debo being one of the top 10 guys who we think are going to be available at the draft. So no matter what he's spending that money on, it's going to be Debo talent or less, probably. Maybe one or two guys sneaks out and he can
Devontae Adams, for example.
But I'm taking Kyron Williams and Travis Etienne over both of Cole's running backs.
But Cole's also got Puka and JJ.
Yeah.
Those are nice, yeah. Yeah, that's true. And then keeping Debo, but quarterbacks, Austin's got the edge for sure. Dak and Kirk over Brock.
Not necessarily. I could
see
close
enough to where I still lean on Cole's side.
I don't. I think I'm going to take Austin. And with that kind of money, does he keep Jalen Waddle? And then still have $120, $130 left?
No, you don't keep Waddle for 38.
Oh, was he 38?
He was drafted for 34. He would go for 38 next year. That seems. He was just so. I don't know. He was very disappointing this year.
Yeah.
He could have a bounce back year. It could be kind of like. Do you guys remember the random DeAndre Hopkins down year in Houston where he went from being like a top 5 guy to like top 30? I could see. I mean, Waddle's talented enough that he could come back and have a great year. He really could be a top 10 guy any given year, but he had such a bad year, and putting $38 on him would be really, really tough.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm still going to say Austin's an A.
I'm going to give him an A minus. I think I don't love, the reason I prefer Cole is because I think betting on wide receiver keepers is safer than betting on running back keepers.
Mm-hmm.
There's just too big of a chance that Kyron or ETN could either have an injury or have a fall off year, or we don't know.
Look at how many touchdowns ETN had this year. Like that could easily regress.
He was not good if he didn't get the touchdowns.
Correct. Also, I'm realizing the other word I say way too much on this podcast is correct.
Correct. Well, yes. I mean, when you have two brilliant hosts like Jack and I, what else are you going to say?
At the end of the day, no,
correct.
It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy that ETN had 1,000 rushing yards and Kyron Williams had. How many did ETN miss games?
I think Williams missed games.
ETN didn't miss any games. Kyron Williams missed 5 games and had 150 yards more than him, and an extra touchdown and 3 receiving touchdowns.
Wow.
Did ETN have any receiving? He had 1. So he had 3 more touchdowns and over 100 yards in 5 less games. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but still an overpay.
Really good.
Still an overpay.
Way overpaid for Kyron. Look, in hindsight, I wouldn't have paid 17 for him. Not a chance.
You could have got him for way cheaper.
Take him, turf hoppers. He's all yours. All right. Well, let's get into. Let's move on.
Yeah. Let's get into mock draft season. The NFL mock draft is on today's show. From Ryan Wilson at CBS Sports, we have a first-round mock draft with trades. So I'm going to load that up right now. 2024 NFL mock draft. Bears trade down. Stay with Justin Fields. Patriots, Giants start over with top 10 quarterbacks.
Okay, before we jump into this, what would you guys do if you were the Bears, number 1 pick? What are you doing with Fields or drafting? AP, I think I know what you're going to say, so you start it off.
I think the answer is obvious, and you trade Justin Fields. And it's not to say that he hasn't made progress this last year. That's not to say the Bears weren't a better team. It's the fact that you're going to have to pay Justin Fields a decent chunk of money, and we still don't know if he's the type of quarterback that can bring you, over the top or can elevate a team. Even if, okay, let's say right now, where would you rank Justin Fields? Let's say generously, he's a mid-tier quarterback.
Yeah. Okay.
You're going to have to pay him quite a bit of money. And the chance that either Caleb Williams or Drake May is a stud or even reaches that middling tier faster than Fields, you're paying him so much less money that it makes sense to take that swing.
Okay, sort of. You do not lose as much as you would think, though. I actually don't think you lose money. I think you lose money by taking the draft pick and not taking the haul that you would get.
How?
Because you're not taking into account all of the money that you save at the positions you would draft. So, let's say you, instead of taking just the QB on the rookie deal, which, for one, I'm pretty sure that his rookie deal would only be cheaper for 2 or 3 of the next 6 years. Because
Fields is going to get a big contract.
But that contract doesn't start for 3 years. He still has 1 more year of his rookie deal and then the option, and then the money kicks in. So you're still operating on 2 years of a rookie deal.
He's still a first-round pick, and he was a relatively high first-round pick. It's not like he's playing for nothing.
Well, he wasn't the number 1 overall pick. He was the 12, 11. So if your argument is payment for the first-round pick, you're paying the number 1 overall guy more. You're paying him more than you would pay Fields' contract the next 2 years. You're
going to have to sign Fields to an extension. That's
yes.
That's the only way you do this is if you plan on keeping Fields long term.
Right, but you also got to realize that the trades that you're getting in return, you're probably getting 3 or 4 guys over the next few years that are first rounders, second rounders, that you're going to be paying on rookie scale contracts that you don't have to pay a top end defensive end, that you don't have to pay another, I don't know, a running back, a wide receiver, whoever.
Sweet. I can get a cheap linebacker at the cost of a potentially elite rookie quarterback. Yeah, that's a trade I want to make.
Notice I did not say linebacker. I said other positions that are much more expensive. Defensive end is probably
quarterback's the most expensive position in the sport.
Right. It is, but when you add together the savings that you're getting at probably wide receiver, defensive end, let's say you trade down to number 2 or 3, probably 3. Let's say you trade down to 2, and you get that pick. You let the person jump up to take the QB, and then you trade down with another guy who's going to get QB, and then you get down to 3, and you get Marvin Harrison, and now you don't have to pay for more talent around Justin Fields because Marvin Harrison is going to be on a rookie deal for the next 5 years instead of paying T. Higgins an absurd amount to be a high tier wide receiver 2.
You're low on him. He's an elite wide receiver 1. All right.
He's not that good. I'm just saying, I think there's more savings. I could read it. It's a massive, massive tweet about a guy who was talking about all the savings you get by keeping Fields.
I should send you an article. I read about it too, where the guy was like, it's a tough call, but the answer is clearly you trade Justin Fields. And also you would get assets in a Fields trade. If Sam Darnold a couple of years ago netted what was it? A couple second rounders and a 4th or whatever. Fields is going to net way more than that.
He might. Yeah, it depends what they're looking at. Yeah, you're right. But I think people look at that Sam Darnold trade and go, okay, well, we're not making that mistake. You look at the trades people have made for quarterbacks lately. They've all gone south. I mean, At
guarantee you
at
that's
what
not
point
going
are
to
GMs
influence
gonna
any
say-
NFL team that's like,
Yeah.
oh, these haven't worked out previously. I'm not going to do this.
You don't think so? Why do you think running back contracts are dropping? It's because
totally
NFL
different.
No, it's because NFL teams are realizing it's not worth it. Like, why
Dude,
are
the
you
Rams literally a couple years ago traded for Matthew Stafford and won a Super Bowl. You're telling me that's not going to entice teams?
That's a very good counterpoint.
I've seen the Deshaun Watson trade didn't work out. What
Russell
are the other
Wilson
ones?
did not work out. Sam Darnold did not work out. Baker Mayfield did not work out.
Well, Jack wants to interject here.
Go for it, Jack. But talk about Baker Mayfield on the Panthers, not Baker Mayfield on the Buccaneers who signed a free agent deal. Okay.
Hey, let's just like pick those apart. Baker Mayfield goes to probably the most dysfunctional organization in the NFL.
Mhm.
Russell Wilson showed signs of decline in Seattle, goes to an organization with probably the worst head coach in all of like NFL history, and it doesn't work out. And then Deshaun Watson, I feel like I don't even know where to start with all the reasons the Browns shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
So it's like you're telling me some NFL team doesn't want to take a chance on a young, ascending, like rushing quarterback who has also played for a dysfunctional organization. Like, I don't believe that.
I don't know. I mean, okay. We disagree. We disagree to agree.
Wait, Jack, who won? Who won?
Yeah, Jack, come on. Tell us who won.
I think it was a really hard fought battle between the two of you. And I
Answer the
think
question.
until we actually.
That can't
Luke.
sway you either.
Yeah.
No,
I knew that was coming.
think you guys both make good. I think you guys both make really good points. I think it's a tough call to make. I think you have all these analysts and all these guys who watch football constantly and are always watching tapes, and they have a strong opinion, and there's on both sides. So I don't think we're really going to see like a right answer until it actually plays out, which is such a hedge, but that is the case. If it was me, if I was a Bears fan, I would probably want to keep Justin Fields because I do think that he does show like signs of being good, maybe even great. There are obviously a lot of things that go into his game where it's like, well, can he throw the football though? Like it's kind of important for a quarterback.
Oh,
But
can
if
he
you
throw
put-
the football? Yeah, minor detail. Okay.
If you put DJ Moore in that field along with Marvin Harrison Jr., I mean,
That's
and then
scary.
he doesn't succeed, then it's obvious that he's not the guy.
But then you
but I
missed
don't think you're
literally an
gonna see that
opportunity to get the guy.
Who's the guy?
I'm just saying, like Caleb Williams and Drake May are very highly touted quarterback, and you don't have these chances very often. If the Bears, for example, draft Marvin Harrison, are they ever going to be in this position to take a franchise quarterback in the near future? They're probably not.
What
Probably not, but I think the ifs and ands go along with the college quarterbacks too. I mean, you can look at all the college quarterbacks from this season. A lot of people
For
thought
sure.
Bryce Young was going to be a stud and carry Panthers out of a drought. He couldn't do it. CJ Stroud comes out of nowhere and plays incredible for the Texans. I don't think people expected that to the full extent. So
So if
like
you're
you're
telling
always
me
going
I
to
have
take
a
a risk.
50-50 shot at taking a franchise quarterback in the top of
I
the
think you
draft,
have a
I'm
50
taking that pick, or I'm taking that swing.
I don't think you have a 50-50. I think it's even less than that. I think you have a 50-50 on whether or not it's a success to keep or trade Fields.
do you
I
think?
think. Well, go ahead, Luke.
Okay, which one gives you the better chance of winning a Super Bowl in the next 5 years?
Taking the franchise quarterback or taking Caleb
Uh-uh.
Williams, or oh my gosh, like I don't think
No,
there's any question.
Because you have to build around him, right? So you got to look at the other contracts on your
the
team.
Bears have already built around him.
Not really. DJ Moore, and then they brought in
Traded for
Sweat.
Montez Sweat,
yeah,
like
and
signed
look
a
what
bunch of free agents this offseason.
Exactly. Look what they've done since they did that. They've won 5 of their last 6 games. Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
you start bringing in that defensive talent. So let's say you trade down and you fill out that defense and you get another wide receiver weapon. This team, because how many rookie quarterbacks in their first couple of years? Because that's probably how long you have Sweat and how long you have Moore and how long whatever. By the time that quarterback matures into a quarterback who can probably win you a Super Bowl,
Yeah.
you might lose those guys. Your best shot is probably in 2 years when you still have Fields on his rookie deal and you've built around him and the game isn't too fast for him anymore. He's slowed down. He's a veteran quarterback in year 5. And I think that's
Bless you.
gives you your best shot to
Thanks.
win a Super Bowl. I think the safe route is to trade Fields.
That is not the safe. I think that's the route you win the most Super Bowls is by acquiring a stud. Okay, like play this out. Like let's say they draft Williams at 1, and he's better than anyone imagined.
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl window is wide open for 4 years. Like, not only do you have an elite quarterback, but then you can build that.
How good does he
roster.
have to be?
He's got to be better than Trevor Lawrence. He's got to be better than C.J. Stroud. He's got to be better than probably Dak Prescott. Like, Dak Prescott's got more pieces in Dallas than Caleb Williams would have in Chicago. You have to remember that he's going into an organization that is getting better, but they're still not a top-tier team. They're more like middle of the pack right now. You throw in a young quarterback, and you're assuming that he develops immediately. Let's just say Caleb Williams does come in and dominates.
I'm just saying, like, if he does, that is the highest upside play.
I think if Caleb Williams comes in and dominates, I think you're looking at more of like a Houston Texans team. And I don't think a lot of people are making an argument that the Texans have a shot at winning a Super Bowl this year. Maybe
the
next
Texans
year,
were like
maybe
one of the
in
worst
2
teams in the
years.
league last year, and C.J. Stroud took them to the playoffs. Like, that is not the
which
Bears.
is impressive. How not? The Bears were really bad last year.
No, I'm saying the Bears they went 7-10 this year. Like you guys just said, they won 5 of their last 6 games. Like they're becoming a competent team. If you add an elite young rookie quarterback on a rookie quarterback contract, that's like the dream scenario.
Yeah, but you're improving. You're potentially improving slightly at the quarterback for the next couple of years, or you're improving tremendously at a wide receiver spot. Like it's
we also
different.
don't know if
Obviously,
Harrison's
the
going to
quarterback
work out. You know what I mean? Like I think he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like
I think it's
the guy in the
safer.
draft where I'm like,
I think it's safer that he'll be effective in his first 3 years than a rookie quarterback will be.
I don't know. Yeah. I'm not sure about that. I think though.
That's a tough one.
You're completely right, Jack. What do you guys think the Bears will do? Not what they should do. What do you think will happen?
I think they'll keep him. I think they'll keep Fields, draft Marvin Harrison, trade away that first pick to like Washington because they need a quarterback. And then I don't know. They'll probably receive they'll get the second pick to get Marvin Harrison, and then they'll get the 14th. Doesn't Washington have 2 first rounders this year?
I think they got the 9th pick. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they'll.
Are you saying Washington has multiple picks this year?
Well, what? Oh no, I guess they would just get the second from Washington. Okay, I see. And then they'd get the 9th pick from their own. And they would take a defensive player and an edge.
Well, hold on. You're jumping way ahead here. We haven't talked about. You're just going off of what the mock draft is saying. What do you think?
Just based on the Bears. Me?
Yeah.
Do you think they keep Fields, Jack?
You think they keep Fields and just trade?
Yeah,
just trade back. Yeah. Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, I think so.
I also think they keep Fields. I think they get a haul from somebody probably around
pick 11.
Maybe
11.
What would you trade if you were the Vikings to get up there?
See maybe 7. Oh, the Vikings to. Oof. Did you hear what they offered last year?
Well, I didn't hear. I heard it was a haul for Richardson, right?
Yeah, they offered an absolute haul. Like it was like 3 or. It was like somewhere between 3 to 5 first round draft picks or something insane.
Jeez.
Yeah, absolutely.
And honestly, with how I know Richardson got injured, but he was looking good.
I know.
Really good.
I know.
And why do you think Kwesi did that? Probably because that rookie quarterback might be worth it.
I mean, he thinks that.
If I have to choose between being aligned with Kwesi or you guys, I'll probably lean Kwesi, but it's fine.
No, that's cool. Align with the GM who will probably be fired in the next year. And don't align with podcasters who will be podcasting for as long as we want because nobody cares.
We do have millions of dollars riding on this and a state, a state's football host.
We have so much money. We're not debating if we can afford a PFF subscription.
I'm not paying for that PFF subscription. I put my foot down right now.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay, but sorry. Let me finish what I was saying. I think they trade back to someone probably around 7 to 10, get an absolute haul, have 2 picks in the top 10 still. Take no, that's not what they're gonna do. They're gonna they should just slowly move down the board. I think that's what they're gonna do is go pick 2 to pick 3, make a pick there, and then have probably 3 picks in the first round when it's all said and done, and have an absolutely loaded roster, and then probably still have 2 firsts next year. Like that's
Would
crazy.
it be would
yeah.
it be crazy for them to trade down to like 6 and get Jaden Daniels and still go like new quarterback route?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, they could.
Or Michael Penix.
Penix too.
They really could. That would be super interesting. What if you just trade back one spot, telling like somebody that you're like, no, we're gonna keep moving down. You get your QB, whatever, and then they just decide to take like Drake May, Caleb Williams. It's a toss up. They're like, we're just gonna get a haul for the first, and then just take the other guy.
I mean, honestly, that'd probably be the best case scenario. Like,
right?
Yeah,
you still get a stud young rookie quarterback. You get more assets. I personally, I think that they will take a quarterback at the top. Whether it's at 1 or 2. And then
Who
I think
do you
they'll
think
trade
they
Fields.
take?
I mean, selfishly, so Caleb Williams is from the like the DC area, I think. So I think it'd be fun to see him in DC, especially under a new like ownership. And I'd want to see. I don't hate the Commanders as much as maybe other teams do. But I think they'll take Williams, trade Fields, and I think they'll trade Fields to a team like, I don't know, maybe the Raiders. I mean, where do you think Fields would go if he got traded?
Atlanta.
Oh, that would actually make a lot of sense. But now Smith's fired, so maybe they'll change the offense.
Yeah, they'll still need a quarterback. Whoever's coming in is not going to ride with Ritter.
I'm not disagreeing with you there.
I think Atlanta either trades for Fields or signs Russ, because I think Russell Wilson he'll be a good fit for them. And the Raiders, you're right. The Raiders is probably going to get whoever Atlanta doesn't, or vice versa. Let's jump into the what the mock draft what the experts say is going to happen, not just us.
Well, this is CBS Sports, and they don't know what they're talking about. But
hey, this is Ryan Wilson. You respect him,
Ryan Wilson. I don't respect you. All right.
This is not what you do to
me and Ryan go way back. All right. He crossed me before.
Oh, did he? That job was meant to be yours.
Letter. Yeah, true.
All right.
Yeah, let's move into it. What's Ryan saying?
All right. So here's what Ryan says. So with the number 1 pick, the Bears trade the number 1 pick to the Washington Commanders, who draft Caleb Williams. So the Bears move down 1 spot, and they do not trade on from there. They take Marvin Harrison Jr., which I think is a bad move. If you're going to take Marvin Harrison Jr., don't take him at 2, right? Yeah. Some QB needy team, the Patriots would move up. Somebody's going to move up. That feels like a bad move if the Bears do that. But I do like Marvin Harrison on that team. Pick 3 goes to the Patriots, and they draft Drake May. Then we've got an offensive tackle to the Cardinals, offensive tackle to the Chargers. The next important guy for fantasy purposes, Jaden Daniels, goes to the New York Giants at pick 6. What are your thoughts on Daniels? Do you guys think he's
got a good name? He played for LSU. He's a quarterback. Yeah. He sounds great.
He looks like Sean Livingston.
He does.
We've really dived into the college tapes.
I think it's a good. I think it's a good pick for the Giants.
Episode. Yep.
I was going to say our analysis just go. Which NBA player does this kind of look like?
The number 7 offensive tackle to the Titans. So far, this guy's projecting all offensive players to the top 8 picks. Michael Penix Jr. goes to the Atlanta Falcons.
Who also kind of looks like Lou Williams.
I was trying to think of a comp for him, Jack, and that's so much better than what I was thinking of.
If our NFL grid challenge was just what NBA player does these guys look like, Jack would kill us.
Player look like?
Jack would kill us. Bears go edge rusher at 9. Wide receiver goes to the Malik Neighbors goes to the Jets at 10. Skip down. Vikes take a defensive edge rusher. Pick 12. Rome Adunzi goes to who has the 12th pick? Denver? Yeah.
Mhm.
The Broncos take him. Brock Bowers goes to the Saints at 14.
That
Bowers
seems
is
low.
Do you think he'll go higher than that?
I saw one mock draft today that had him at 4.
Whoa.
Jeez. Is he that good?
I mean,
He's
he's
a stud
supposed to
tight
be.
end. Yeah.
He's supposed to be an absolute freak. Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver out of LSU. Is that where he's from? I don't know. Goes to who does he go to at 15? My computer won't load. Do you guys? Is your guys'
Colts.
loading? Colts at 15. All right. Yeah, mine's not loading.
Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can keep going.
Yeah, go
At
for
pick
it.
15, Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver from LSU, is projected to go to the Colts. Jerzon Newton, defensive lineman from Illinois, going to the Seahawks for pick 16. Oh, this is a tough one. Taliz Fuaga.
You can probably you can probably ignore
Fuaga.
any of the guys who aren't basically position players. Just any non.
Yeah.
I mean, I also
offensive
don't know if we have to
tackle-
read out the rest of the draft.
Well, Keon Coleman's he's an important one though. When we get to the
And
rookie draft, he's gonna be a big name.
here's a
Yeah.
guy that won't matter in the rookie draft, but is very interesting. Cooper DeJean, cornerback from Iowa, projected to go to the
Oh.
Rams in the first round, would be the first ever white cornerback to be drafted in the first round.
See, I was wondering if he was white or not from the picture. I was like, is
Yeah, he's-
he white?
He's white. He's white.
He-
If
If he was an NBA player, Austin Reeves.
I
Only
like
white
that,
guy I
Wow,
can-
or
that's
any other
racist.
white NBA player.
That is
They
racist.
all look the same.
Why don't you just call him Brian Scalabrine, Luke? All right.
He
Because I
looks
didn't
more like
think of
Mac
him.
McCollum.
No, I think
Mac
the
McClung.
biggest. It feels like the first, at least for our purposes, for our league, quarterbacks and wide receivers. It doesn't sound like there's any really top running back talent, at least that will be picked in
Yeah.
the first round.
I
And
don't
with
see
that, I mean, there could be some
any.
second or third rounders that maybe like shoot up the draft. Like I'm trying to
Mhm.
think of. I mean, like Dalvin Cook was drafted in the second round, and he would have gone high in rookie drafts probably. So
Yeah.
maybe something like that happens. But I think right now wide receivers will dominate the early round picks in our rookie draft.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. Well, let's move on from our mock draft segment. Let's go on to the draft battle. Should we move on to that and wrap up the show with the draft?
I feel like we need
Let's
a better
do it.
title than draft battle.
Draft battle royale.
There we go. That's what I wanted.
Duel.
Well, Jack, think of
Death.
something funny
Yeah.
now. Do it.
A priest and a Muslim walk into a bar.
Okay, that's what we're calling it.
You forgot to put battle in there, but we'll accept it.
Walk into a bar battle.
We're gonna call it the Crusades.
I love it.
On today's draft battle crusade, we're going to be drafting the best QBs in the NFL today. This is not the best fantasy QBs. This is based on how they perform for an NFL team. It will be a 6-round snake draft. The results will be posted on X to decide the winner with your vote of which host you believe drafted the best QB room.
You could just read it normal and not like in a mocking tone. like
Yeah,
the producer wrote it horribly. I don't think he did. I think he did a great job. Okay.
I was trying to be.
I don't know. I think he did
was
pretty
trying to be
horrible. I'm with you,
spunky.
Jack.
I was just trying to bring a little razzle dazzle to it.
a little.
Still feeling it
flair.
out. We're
little
only in our
razzle-dazzle.
37th episode.
That's fair.
So
Yeah, whoever's still
So
with
how-
us
who-
after reading the whole first round, they need a little razzle dazzle. All right.
with
That's-
the 132 pick, the Broncos will take OT. All right, where's my? Okay, here we go. All right, so this is not based on fantasy stats, correct?
Nope. This is just real life quarterback. Who do you want on your team? How should we decide our draft order? We'll have this segment a few
Alphabetical
times.
by first name.
Okay, but you'll move down the order. I don't mind how we do it. If AP you want the first one, then Jack.
No,
then
why don't we
me.
just do a randomizer?
All right. Okay. I'm gonna pick a number 1 to 20.
14.
17.
Okay, I'm gonna pick 7. Okay. Random number 1 to 20 was 2. So I would get the first
Well,
pick.
I just did a random name order, and it would go Jack, Luke, me.
Oh, okay. That seems like
So
a better
how-
way to do it.
Just to clarify, we're taking quarterbacks for the longevity, or is this just for 2024, or is it for this is my future QB room?
I was thinking just for 2024, but I don't mind changing it if you guys want longevity.
I think we do 22. I would like to do it. If you were starting an NFL franchise, who do you want to be your quarterback?
Okay.
Then that would be longevity, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
That'd
it could be
more than just
factored in.
2024.
Yeah.
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 Because then that's gonna add value to guys like CJ Stroud. Because I would love to have CJ Stroud as a Vikings because that means you have him for at
Wow.
least another 3 years.
Gonna have to drop Joe Flacco out of my top 5.
Ooh.
Man, the myth, the legend.
I mean, yeah, Zach Wilson really rises in the rankings too with that change. So,
He does. I'll swap him. All right, Jack. You get the first overall pick. It'll snake. So then it'll go me, Andy, me, you. We're gonna pick 6 guys.
Jack, you taking Baker? Baker. You taking Baker? Put your money where your mouth is.
If you're wondering, that totally landed.
I'm logging off.
This is so tough because you have to bring
Number
in,
1? Number 1's not tough. That's the spot that's the
Well, I mean, it's just tough though because for one, I mean, he does have longevity still. How old is Mahomes?
27, 28.
Yeah, I would definitely move
28.
past Mahomes. I would pick somebody else.
Yeah, I'll go Mahomes 1. It's tough. It's tough. What I was going to say was it's tough based on the season that he had. And I'm also bringing in fantasy football. But outside of that, even he had a tough season with the Chiefs this year. They just looked a bit clunky. And obviously it's still Patrick Mahomes, but it definitely is chilling in the back of my head.
I think you made the right call. I thought he might fall to me at 3, but it's unfortunate.
Oh my gosh. Two is the worst spot in this draft because I think there's a bunch of
Whoa, you playing the victim card again, Luke? Wow, this is surprising.
100%. Do you disagree with me though?
I do think 2's tough.
Yes. 1 was was obviously Mahomes to me. And then number 2, I think there's probably 3 guys that you could take at 2. So why not just be in 3rd and get the other 2 options?
Yeah, 2 of them.
I'm gonna go with I'll go Josh Allen.
Dang it.
That's a good pick.
I mean, I don't know if it's slightly a pandering pick. I don't know if I fully believe in that pick, but it feels like what the public would agree with most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when it was so close.
So Andy, who are you taking at 3 and 4?
I'm going to go with Lamar.
Lamar
Good
at
pick.
3.
And then I'm also going to go with, this one's a bit tougher.
Man, really?
I mean, I'm going to go with, I'm so nervous.
Don't be nervous.
I think I'm going to go with
Deshaun Watson.
Don't. That was my next pick.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to spoil it.
I'm between.
No worries. I was thinking Watson and Baker at the turn.
I think I got to go Dak.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's what I was hoping would come back to me.
Really?
I would the only reason I didn't go with some of the other guys is injury concerns.
Okay. I'll very easily take my next pick as Joe Burrow.
That's who I was thinking. But think Luke, in 4 seasons, he hasn't finished 2 of those 4.
I don't care. Joe Burrow is a better quarterback, a younger quarterback than Dak Prescott.
He's probably not that much younger, honestly.
And I don't know if he's that much better. I was looking at some stats about Dak Prescott because I was thinking about him. He has the highest wins above replacement in the NFL.
Oh, hear that, Luke?
Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I would guess Burrow's like 28, and I would guess Dak's like 30.
27 and 30. 3 years different.
Mhm.
I would much rather have a healthy Burrow over a healthy Dak. I would take that pretty much any day. And by the start of next season, I'm believing healthy Burrow. So
I do love Joe Burrow. I'm kind of regretting my Dak pick, but I think also given the season Dak has had, that has been like, I mean, watching some of Dak's games this year, it's been ridiculous. Like he has looked so good.
He has been really, really good. I had them pretty much back to back. I actually had Joe Burrow number 3 ahead of Lamar and then Dak at 5. So other than that, we've gone pretty much chalk for me. All right, Jack, back to you. You've got 2 picks here.
Yes, sir.
Who are you taking?
I am going to take... This is tough. Very tough. I'm going to take, with my second quarterback, I'm going to go Jalen Hurts.
Of course.
I love that man.
See, I actually don't think he's that good of a quarterback. I think he's
really struggled to end the season.
I think he's in a system that helps him a ton, but I mean, I don't know, longevity. I don't know if I see him being a great quarterback for more than another couple years, if even that.
I like Hurty. I like Hurts. Who was your first pick, Luke?
Josh Allen. So right now you have Mahomes and Hurts. I have Allen and Burrow, and AP has Jackson and Prescott.
Prescott. That's hype.
Prescott, you know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm stuck between like 2 guys. I am gonna go. Oh, I'm gonna go CJ Stroud.
No.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping he'd drop to me. That was
I was stuck between 2 guys, and I won't say it because I don't want to throw anything off for AP, but that was a tough decision.
Okay. Now, so CJ Stroud was higher in my rankings was just for next year, so it's a little bit off. You got to think.
I took into the equation that longevity. CJ Stroud is one of the top guys with one of the youngest ages.
I know he was such a stud this year. I think I went with a pandering pick with pick 1. I think I'm gonna do the opposite with pick 3, and I'm gonna go Brock Purdy.
I thought you would, Luke.
Whoa! Wow.
Yeah, I think Brock Purdy is legit. I think he really is a stud. I think
any other system, I really don't think he's as dominant as he is.
Probably not. He is great for his system. I don't think he's going anywhere.
I do think it's funny that your exact argument against Hurts is your argument for Purdy.
No, I think
you're like,
that
well, it's the system, and then you're like, and Purdy, it's just the system.
No, I think Purdy is a better quarterback than Hurts, like an actual quarterback. I think
that's hot. I mean,
I think it is a hot take.
6 weeks ago, that would have been like enough to kick you off the podcast. Now it's defensible.
But this is not fantasy. So I would not. I mean, Hurts is way better for fantasy. But if I were to start a team, not knowing what else is around, I would much rather have Purdy, who is, I mean, I could be misquoting this. I might not be right, but I'm pretty sure he is super good in the mid-range, like in the, what is it, like the 15-yard
If only
passes.
we had PFF, we could verify this.
Oh, if only you would chip in. But he's a really, really good passer, and he has a ton of weapons around him. I don't think he would be quite as prolific as he is in a worse system. But I mean, I don't know. I think if you give him one solid guy to pass to, he's gonna find that guy. He's an accurate thrower. I don't know. I could be way wrong. I just really like Brock Purdy. I absolutely love him.
I
Well,
can respect it.
I'm taking the obvious pick here, boys. I'm going Justin Herbert.
Yep. I
Did not think he'd fall to me at the 9th overall pick. Very, very, very happy with that.
I'm down on Herbert.
Mhm. Yeah,
He's the
I'm a
T.
little down
Higgins of
on him, too.
quarterbacks.
He had a great rookie year. I don't think he's done that much since his rookie year with talent around him.
You're telling me you wouldn't want to build? You'd rather build your team around Brock Purdy than Justin Herbert?
Yes.
Wow, I do not agree.
Not by much. I mean, it's close. He's another guy I was looking at, but like, I just don't know. I mean, just what my gut and my eye, because I don't have PFF and I can't check anything else.
Hey, you're an old school scout, all right?
That's
you scout
right.
with these.
That's right. He's got a good face. He's He's confident. You know,
He's got a good girlfriend.
He's very attractive girlfriend.
Really good. Really
That
good.
means a lot. Moneyball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close, but I think Purdy is actually a better quarterback. I think he's more of a winner than Herbert.
Oh my gosh, I hate that argument. Oh,
Me too. But it's the only one I have because I don't have PFF.
oh my gosh. All right, with my
Who's
next
your
pick, gentlemen. Oh, go ahead, Jack. Sorry.
I was just going to say, all right, who's your next pick, Andy? And then you said, all right, with my next pick, gentlemen, so I stopped.
I am going to go with Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good pick.
Nope.
It's 10th pick overall. Is that what it is? It's
Yeah.
I think it's good at 10.
Luke's going to take Tua here.
I do like Tua, but no. Okay, how much farther can guys who are actually better quarterbacks than the guys we've been drafting slip? Like,
you mean like the Stafford, Cousins?
Yes, they're actually right now top 6, 7 guys in the league, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think Stroud's that. I don't think Purdy's that. I don't think Herbert or Lawrence is that. If I only had 1 year, like for 1 year, Kirk Cousins and Stafford are 6, 7 on my list.
I think that's generous for Kirk. I think Stafford, you're probably right, but only 1 year. Like there were rumors he'd retire, like, this offseason.
Man, you're starting a team. Okay, this hurts because I think those guys
Hurts
are
is
better
already
quarterback.
taken.
Oh, okay.
I was waiting for that, Jack.
I didn't want him anyway.
That was on a tee.
I am gonna go with. I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. I'm gonna go Justin Fields.
Wow.
Whoa. That one felt a little early for me.
That feels gross.
Yeah, that one. I like the Trevor Lawrence pick better than the Justin Fields pick.
I think the rest of the world does, other than Luke.
No, I would much rather have Lawrence than Fields.
Well, like by a whole pick. I was just saying you were like, oh, that's gross.
It is
when he picked.
It is gross. I think the tough part is I like genuinely because I built my list out for just next year. And so I'm having a hard time not seeing past Stafford and Cousins, but they really probably only have a couple years left in the league. Like,
I mean,
where
was
not
Lawrence on your list, Luke?
Lawrence for just 1 year was at I'd probably move him up. He's like right around 16, 17.
Oh my gosh, that is so low.
I just don't. He hasn't been that good. He's a middle tier quarterback. Like, what has he done that's been impressive so far?
I mean, last year he played well.
He played okay. He didn't.
Who, Lawrence?
Yeah, he wasn't like. He's just not a great quarterback.
He's not great.
It's his third year.
He's good. And he's
3 years
progressed
in.
every single year, which is promising if we're talking about longevity. That's my whole thing is he's continued to improve every single year, and that Jacksonville team has continued to improve. I know that they've brought in other assets and stuff, but I mean, proof's in the pudding. He's doing something right in Jacksonville.
They did miss the playoffs this year, so that hurts our argument a bit, Jack. But
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
he's not a winner.
They brought in talent.
I'm a wiener. I mean, winner.
All right, Jack, you've got 2 picks.
All right. For my 4th and 5th pick of the draft, I'm going to go Tua.
Smart.
And I am going to go Jared Goff.
Interesting.
Jared Goff is right up there for me.
I think Jared Goff is right in there with Kirk Cousins and Matthew Stafford with maybe a little bit more longevity.
He's much more inconsistent than those guys. He's great.
True.
I mean, when he's great, he's great. When he's bad, he's much worse than those 2, I think. But
there's a reason the
I
Rams
agree with
traded
that.
him.
I think you're
Yeah.
right that Goff is he's the discount Cousins or Dak.
Yep. Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking at it as.
Yeah.
And come on, we're not going to start him.
Then actually
We gotta afford
the guy who I was debating between last one fell to me. I am going to take with my 5th pick, Kyler Murray.
Interesting.
Oh, nice.
I thought he might fall. I was hoping he'd be my last pick, Luke, but it's a shame.
Too
How many
bad.
guys? We get 6 guys.
We get 6 guys. So Andy wraps up his draft here. Just to quickly summarize what we have. Jack, you have Mahomes, Hurts, Stroud, Tua, Goff. I have Allen, Burrow, Purdy, Fields, Murray. AP has Jackson, Prescott, Herbert, and Lawrence. And he's wrapping up his draft here.
I've got
All right.
one thing I think I want to do just to piss you guys off, but I don't know if that's smart for the votes. So
What? Trade away the 5th
Go ahead,
pick?
sweetie.
Oh no, I think
For a pick
that
in next
reaction just
season's
makes me want to do
draft
it even more.
battle.
I'm gonna take Stafford and Cousins.
Oh, okay. Go for
That's
it.
good.
All right, cool.
You didn't get
guys
the
are secretly
satisfaction you wanted. Nope. I'm actually very okay with that because this is a draft where we're starting a franchise here. And
You're taking Jordan Love. I know you are.
And you let Anthony Richardson slip to me.
Oh, I was going to pick Anthony Richardson.
I'm going to take Anthony Richardson at 6.
I'm surprised.
Wow, that's a great pick.
I'm surprised you guys haven't taken Love.
That's who
No.
I'm going to take now instead of. I was hoping that Anthony Richardson was going to fall to me, but I will take Jordan Love with my last pick.
I think Jordan Love is the discount Jared Goff, who is the discount Kirk Cousins. So you're essentially taking like 40% off Kirk Cousins to me.
Not bad.
Yeah, not terrible.
Well, who else would you? Who else would you take in that situation? You got Sam Howell, Jake Browning.
No.
Interesting. I actually might not take Love.
Whoa, card
well,
laid.
it's-
I mean,
the
Luke,
last-
do you want to allow him to repick? You want to allow him to repick? I think we need to agree to this.
You don't have to, but I am the last
No.
pick in the draft.
Oh, you can repick.
You can
Jack.
easily repick. I really don't care.
I'm
I
really
actually
stuck
prefer it
between.
because I think Love is the best pick. So
I think so too.
I think it's a toss up. I think it would be funny if I took Baker.
I would take Love over Baker if I were you. I would.
I know, but it kind of just it adds a little zing to my list that like
You just love that.
you know. Who was your last pick? You took Anthony Richardson. Man,
Yep.
I was really hoping if he would have came to my team, I think I would have locked it in. Kirk Cousins and Matthew Stafford. I'm gonna stick it out with Jordan Love.
I like
All
that.
right.
I think that's the best
I
pick
think-
left. The other guy who I could
think-
have seen was maybe Russell Wilson. He could maybe have.
Nah, I didn't want him
Yeah.
because
I would take Love.
his future is so uncertain for the next couple of years. Like he could be out of the NFL in 2 seasons,
It's true.
or a backup. But I think looking at these teams from a Twitter or X perspective, I think
Andy
a lot of
wins.
people are going to think I have the best team.
what? I think I pretty clearly won this, Jack.
I think from a
I don't
Twitter
think
perspective,
so.
I think from a Twitter perspective, Andy wins.
Yes. But that's the goal, right, guys? All right, was to get the most Twitter votes. I'm just saying.
No. The goal
you-
is to be the smartest and the best. To be able to look back in a year and say, you all were idiots.
To be the very best, like no one ever was.
Look how
Well-
amazing Brock Purdy is. Greatest quarterback all time.
I just checked
Yeah.
so I would say I just went round by round and checked which pick I liked most, or which quarterback in that tier I think is the best. I would go Jack round 1 with Mahomes, Luke round 2 with Burrow. Then I would go Herbert, Lawrence, Stafford, Cousins.
Not for starting a
CJ
franchise.
Stroud over Herbert for sure.
No way.
Yes,
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. For starting a franchise.
Not even close.
Yeah.
What are you
Let's look at what
smoking
the
over
ring-
there?
It
in
really
Columbia
See what
Heights.
the Ringer ranks as the quarterback rankings.
That's really not even close to
that-
me. Stroud was better than Herbert this year, and he's a rookie.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I
feel
don't
like
really see
Herbert
an
has
argument you
shown.
could make.
Herbert has had better
Herbert-
stats, worse organization. Well, maybe not worse organization, but I'm just
Way
curious
more
what.
options in Los Angeles before they're injured, or if they're a fully healthy team.
So, like the NFL quarterback rankings has got. Let's see. Oh, I'm looking pretty good in this one. They have Stroud ranked at 9. I don't even know if they have Herbert ranked
Yeah.
because he's
He's
probably
not
doesn't
even
help my argument.
not even a top 30. I would say Jack wins round 3. I like CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
I wanted Stroud. Round 4.
I know you guys don't agree with me, but I'm taking me in round 2 as well. I think Hurts is better than Burrow and Prescott.
I don't think you're right there, but
Not just as a quarterback. I would much rather. I think
How about you can go start your organization with Herbert. Ooh, Garcia, Oogie. I think
Yeah.
round 4. I think round 4 goes to Acorns. Probably taking Lawrence over Tua. Definitely taking him over Fields.
you guys will rue the day.
Round 5, I think, goes to
probably
Acorns
regret
for
my Fields
Cousins.
pick.
Yeah, I think Cousins wins round 5. Yeah, and I think
Cousins. Well, I guess if you go Cousins,
well,
I
yeah,
would
or
rather
Stafford.
have-
Stafford
I would
would
rather
win.
have
Stafford would-
Kyler. I would rather have Kyler than either of those guys to start a franchise.
I'm just looking at the Ringer ranks it like Mahomes 1, Jackson 2, Allen 3, Prescott 4, Stafford 5, Lawrence 6, Geno Smith at 7. I don't know about that.
This is I don't like that at all. This is also not including longevity. This is, I'm assuming they're equating 1 year. Yeah.
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 Well,
So
we'll have to
just
see how
remember,
it plays
everybody,
out.
When you vote, remember longevity and look at Anthony Richardson, greatest pick in the draft. All right, Jack, you want to wrap
That was
it
a
up?
It was a good pick. It was a really good pick. We are Relegation Fantasy Football on Apple Podcast and Spotify. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at the Relegation League. We're also on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Relegation FFL. That's where our QB draft room is going to be, so check that out. Fantasy League Home is linked in the show description. We're not currently playing right now, though, so you're not going to see a whole lot on Yahoo. But feel free to stop by, say hello, leave a comment. Send us some questions on Twitter and TikTok. And as always, follow and subscribe for more content. We will be posting once a week for the offseason every Thursday. We'll see you later, Relegators.